I kind of remember it starting. I knew things were going on because I remember getting on this bus and I knew we were going to be evacuated. The four of us went, so it was my brother, my twin sisters and me, and we all went into a hall, all the evacuees did. So there was all these evacuees milling around, lots of them crying, because they'd been taken away from mum and all that. Well, I did have my brothers and sisters, I suppose I was lucky there, but I might have been crying, I don't know. We had our gas masks and our jam sandwiches if we were lucky. Then we all had to wait. This is the awful part really, when we were chosen and you had to wait till you were gone. Well, my brother was picked because he was going on his own, so he was one of those that was taken. And us three girls were left right until the last. There was nobody there. And all they wanted was two girls, but they stretched the point and they took the three of them. But it wasn't long after that and we had to come back. I think Mum and Dad missed us all too much, worried about us too much, you know. And of course then the rest of the time was spent at Chiswick. I used to go in Chiswick Park and bury the birds sometimes, and I'd say to my mates, right, I'm going over the park to bury the birds, anybody coming? Yeah. They were all going again. I don't think they appreciated us over there. We'd go in the woods bit and we couldn't go, didn't have any shovels or anything, you had a stone, bury the bird, put a little cross on the bottom. My dad, he worked at Chrysler's, but they didn't make cars, so they made bombs and all that kind of thing. And my mum worked there sometime. But because Chrysler's, they tried to bomb Chrysler's, and so it was ever so dangerous going there. And on the way home of a night time when it's dark, people were often killed on the way home and that. The convoys would all come along, and we couldn't cross the road by the convoys because it was all tanks and lorries and all this kind of thing, you see, going on. They could go on for hours and we just had to wait there till they went past so we could cross the road and go to school. It was right near the Thames, but we used to look out the flats, hear the doodlebugs coming and look out and we could see them coming the other side of the water. And we used to say they're coming the other, we never knew whether to run or not. Everybody was stationary watching the doodlebugs. And I definitely remember this one, stopping. Oh, and everybody says, oh, thank God. And then you think, well, they've got it the other side. Oh, well, where's it going to land? Who's it going to kill? I don't think we realised the danger, because I was in junior school. We had to walk quite a long way. We had to walk through Chiswick Park to get through. And the siren would go, and of course all the kids would go be along talking, and all of a sudden they'd say, siren, you're flying along this road, and people would come to the doors and drag us in to go in their shelters in the garden. In the flats where we lived, it was the underground shelter. And we used to sleep down there. And people used to take different things down. My mum used to take a great big enamel jug of coffee, and the men would go up quite often and watch the skies. Then they'd come running down. Let's all sing, shall we? They started the singing, and all the singing would be loud with the adults, you know, so you didn't hear these things. When you went up in the morning, you didn't know whether you had a place there or not, really. I remember this young girl, we were all in the hall, and they asked her if she would stand up. She must have only been about 8, and she stood up and she'd been buried all night where the bomb had hit, and then she was at school the next day. However long you were up in the night, you went to school. I think it was a way to keep things going.